Hey fam, what's good? Alright, we're just gonna go through the gear real quick. It's nothing too crazy. We got Lion Saber there for sealing the abilities that we don't want to deal with. Got a lot of elemental resist, high defense on that Wilhelm. Myra is pretty typical, a lot of high tide, a lot of MP. Same thing with Sylvie. They didn't really have to be anything specific, but we do have, a little bit of extra stuff on the Queens. Gotta really ramp up the elemental resist at the sake of damage, but sometimes you do what you gotta do as a Queen main. This friend unit is just high elemental resist, got some passive provoke in there. Otherwise, pretty run-of-the-mill Charlotte, nothing too crazy requested here. The ribbon effect, but pretty much every Charlotte should have that anyway. So we're just gonna get into it, no big deal. The fight goes almost exactly like you'd expect. It opens with phase transition or form transition, however you want to call that, and then also he does his preemptive earth thing, but that doesn't really matter too much. We're gonna go ahead and just play it out like normal. Just pointing out, he does start with an immunity to magic attacks. We can see that he's enfeebled to fire and lightning. So we already know he's in the right form for Queen to start doing damage early. We want to get our buffs turned on with Queen immediately. So we're going to Magic Martyr, make sure we can get some damage up on the next turn. Get those big buffs going on. And the reason we don't immediately start swinging is because they don't have the element anyway, so they're not going to be able to affect the change of his phase. But instead, we're going to use our Cookie's friend to auto attack. That's going to give us the fire element physical damage we need because they have Nyx's dagger. Otherwise, we're just putting up typical buffs and stuff. I'm not really going to talk too much about this, and in fact, I'm going to zip through an awful lot of the video here in a little bit. Once we figure out the rotation, it's pretty clear what I'm doing, and it starts to repeat, so there won't be too much need for me to go over any of that. Basically, the reason that we're even going to the trouble of taking two different units that are both being provokers, Wilhelm, who is active provoking, and Charlotte, who is passive provoking, is specifically and solely because the second wave of this battle involves two enemies, one who looks like a big ugly butt, and one who looks like the same old squid boy, and on the 4th, 9th, 14th, etc. turns, they will dispel whoever is provoking. If they dispel Charlotte, we're in a lot of trouble. So we're using Wilhelm to provoke, so that his provoke will get dispelled, and then Charlotte can handle that for the remainder of the turn. After which, our boy Wilhelm's just going to go right back to using a combination of sealing techniques, probably guard smite and counters, and then back to being a normal provoker. Also, when we get to the second half of the fight against Orthros in Wave 2, it's a lot easier to survive if Charlotte isn't getting hammered on with a bunch of outrageous attacks that do way too much damage, especially on turns where he uses haste and some other comically dumb things. She's kind of a panic button provoker in that sense for those fights. And then, obviously, the turn 4, 9, 14 thing. And now that we're finally on turn 3, we are facing this guy's first rotation. His form has changed. Now he has to be hit with magical attacks of a wind or light element. Now, we have both of those available, although we don't get to use those in the later half of the fight for reasons that will end up being obvious later. Because Queen can't do any damage right now, she's going to be using Triple Slip. That's going to let her dodge out on some of his dumber attacks. And then on the following turn, we get to do Magic Martyr. And we're going to be going on that rotation with Queen of Triple Slip, enable our buffs, attack, attack, Triple Slip, enable our buffs, attack, attack. And that's pretty much her whole thing. So for the rest of this, we're just going to jump ahead because, let's be honest, right? There's this guy. He's not even part of the fight as far as we're concerned. Phase 2, nothing to it. Our queens are going to die, but we've already planned for that appropriately, and after we revive them on this first turn, they're never going to die again. We have so many elemental resist options in our gear and with Sylvie's buffs that just won't be a problem, especially given we have a magic cover from Charlotte. The typeless magic was kind of a problem for them before, but no longer. Also, we need to seal earth, wind, and light damage, but between Queen's Limit Burst and the Lion Saber on Wilhelm doing some counterattacks, plus guard smite every here and there, we're going to be able to handle that no problem. Up until turn 4, we have no fear, and then on turn 4, it's a little rocky, but we make it through that too, so nothing to worry about in this entire thing. I'm just going to let it play out and you guys can see how it goes. And there's the seal, as per expectation.
Bomb has been defused.
And this is a turn where we have to seal with light, so we're going to use Queen's Limit Burst because it is locked to light damage. Nothing to it. Okay, wow. Everything should go really fast at this point. I mean, after Typhon's dead, like, what's the problem?
7 hours later.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Love you guys, and I will catch you on stream. Hit like and subscribe, join me in Discord, and I'll see you later. Typhon's based on a Greek god and he hangs out with an octopus?